Hello, I'm sorry for being incredibly late to the very first live stream of 2023. Oh my goodness, guys, why did I think I was gonna be able to be on time for I don't know, like the first time that I'm back after taking how long has it been? It feels like it's been more than a week since we've been together on one of these live streams, but yeah, I think it's literally only been a little bit over a week. I don't know why. I thought that I was going to be able to go straight back to normal after taking a week off and spending for how long has it been? Like I've been sleeping in a very tiny tent on a very tiny mattress, like out in the wilderness for the last however many nights that I've been gone. And yeah, it's been rough in terms of the sleep, but it's been good in terms of like the mental recovery. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. I'm really sorry. I think what we shall do is turn our thoughts towards planning. I say, as if you guys haven't already been here, like thinking about like doing some actual planning for like the last half hour while waiting for me. But yeah, so I guess for me, 2023 is kind of really interesting because I have very loose goals at the moment for publication, and yeah, I'm not entirely sure whether I should set more ambitious goals and push myself for 2023, or whether I should just like kind of like what is it like not pull, oh my gosh, I'm not even coherent, as you can see, but like pull back on like setting ambitious goals and like work more on setting like modest goals but like really good execution of those goals. I feel like a lot of planning culture or whatever, like we get so caught up with like setting stretch goals about trying to like do more and do more, where I feel like maybe the point is not to do more but to do better. At least like I feel like a good solid execution or like amazing execution on a couple of very modest goals, it's probably, why are you chopping me? Why are you chopping me? It is literally only like the third day this year and I have been back to see you for one day. I don't know why my cat is biting me already. This really bodes well. This bodes well for like a start to 2023. Oh my goodness. So I think maybe my cat is trying to tell me that like going modest is a good idea. Or I don't know, maybe I have an Asian cat and he's just like, what, like you're slacking off already, pulling back on the goals? Man, you need to work a lot harder. Anyway, so my plan for this sprint is to I reckon we're gonna have to go for a 90-minute first sprint, but that's probably fine. Sprint one will work on at least I am going to be working on like doing like the big picture stuff. So I might divvy it up into thinking between I mean, I don't want to overcomplicate it too much. So I think I'll probably set some writing goals, some publication goals, and probably some like miscellaneous goals, maybe like reading goals and like a generic catch-all admin kind of bucket. At least that's kind of how I plan to do this. Anyway, let's see who is still around and waiting for me to start the sprint. Oh my goodness, we have Elaine, hello. We have Jim, who rightly calls me sleepyhead, hello. We have Green Ruled, hello, and says good afternoon. Awesome. Elaine also says this feels a lot longer than a week. I know, it's been kind of, it's surreal. Like I have been doing these sprints every single day for, I think like the only time I stopped again was like about this time last year when I also took a week off. And like, yeah, part of me is like, I don't know if I will take a break at the end of 2023 because I feel like it's easy to keep going when you've got momentum on something. I know, like, I was like, when Christmas arrived, last year, I was like, oh, you know, you should probably keep up with like waking up at your regular hour instead of like sleeping whenever and letting go of the routine, because like you're just gonna have a huge problem like getting back into it like at the end of the week. So you should like just keep going for a week. But you know, it was hard. I was just like, yeah, it's fine, live a little, relax a little, it'll be fine. You'll be able to pick it up no problem when you get back. Yeah, as today proved, it was not so easy to jump back on the wagon once you kind of like took a break. Ali is also here. Welcome, Ali. Anyway, we are gonna get on the planning, and I'm gonna put 90 minutes up on the clock, and hopefully we're all gonna get some big picture planning done. Or if you're just here to write with me while I plan, that's cool too. All right, let's go. time is up. How did you guys go? I have just done random brain dumping for the last 90 minutes is pretty much what has been happening. So I don't have my big picture goals as such in like proper goal form, but I mean, like I feel like it's not or I feel like I shouldn't overcomplicate this, because like the thing that works is like read more, write more, publish more, and then like anything else you can do to, I guess, build your readership is basically the plan. So like I feel like the overall big picture goal shouldn't change every year. It's literally read more, write more, publish more, and that should be the plan. But like the devil is in the details. I'm just looking at these dates going, oh, these dates are gonna kill me. Like all of these school holiday dates are absolutely gonna kill me. Oh my goodness, like I don't think I realized just how much school holidays there are until I kind of look at this. It's like that's a lot of stretches of the year which are all school holidays. So I'm gonna try and do my best and still get stuff done, but it's just like I'm like, okay, this is basically a whole month during a quarter gone to holidays. This is like 3 weeks gone. This is 3 weeks gone, and then this is not so bad because it's really only 1 week of the year, and I would be taking a break then anyway. But then it's like a whole another month from the subsequent quarter gone. So that's a little hard for me to just reconcile myself with. I'm still quite like not used to the concept of having to take so much breaks in between everything. So I'm just gonna like I feel like the detailed plan here might need some massaging, but overall I'm just kind of looking at this and just thinking about the year ahead, and I think this looks okay. I need to set some KPIs for the next sprint, which is where it's gonna be like pulling teeth because it means trying to break down this big picture into like the day-to-day and the week-to-week, which I'm not good at. But as long as I can set a relatively regimented weekly schedule, we should be okay. We should be okay. So that is how I have been going. How are you guys going? Let's see. Ali says, I just did my 3 big goals and then some sub goals and target actions beneath, and then a list of my expanded goals and clean the fridge. Oh my goodness, that is super productive. Oh man, that's amazing. Elaine says, I wrote 1,447 words, so I need another 500 words or so in sprint 2, which is going to be super easy for you to hit. That's awesome. Roderick says, I rock climbed during the sprint, which is not writing, but it's still stuff I did. That's awesome. Oh man, I feel like we should, if you know what, I've always wondered about people who actually write by dictation, like, because I know there's like, oh, who is it, there's like one author that Brandon Sanderson talks about. Is it Brian something? I forgot, but he writes while jogging. So if like sports are your thing and you can dictate, and like that might be a useful way to like multitask. I don't know about like writing by dictation while rock climbing too. Like I like rock climbing. It's a lot of fun. I'm not very good at it, but I imagine like you would need to use like all of your concentration like while rock climbing, as opposed to like, you know, writing. I feel like writing you can just kind of like get into the zone and just like go with it. Maybe that's why writing and dictating and listening to audiobook works well. Who else has done stuff? Oh, I don't know. I think that was pretty much it. Project says, planned during the 7 minutes I was here. Let's see. I have to scroll up in the chat to see what you were planning. Let's see. I'll focus on Facebook ads, and has a whole 52 hours this year to figure it out. What? Hang on. I need to scroll up more in the chat. Sorry. Oh, okay. So the plan is to write stuff, edit written stuff, and publish edited stuff. Solid plan, I agree. And the goal is to sell 100 books this year, which is 20 more than this year. Oh man, and spend an hour a week on marketing to get there. That's probably pretty solid. That's like a more cohesive plan to marketing than I had for 2022. 2022 was just like, random mess of marketing stuff that I just did randomly, even though last year I resolved to actually focus my newsletter, which I kind of did not. So yeah, I gotta do better this year and be so much more structured to my approach in everything. Roderick says I suck at dictation and don't think doing it at the same time as rock climbing works best. And also that sounds very much like my 2022 marketing plan. Yeah, 2022 was just it was just like a really random chaotic year. I think I have thoughts about 2022 which I need to upload into some sort of video as soon as I can. But yeah, it kind of, it really didn't go like I thought it would. And I'm a little bit scared by like the planning right now, because as you guys know, when I plan writing wise, like I just, the plan just doesn't sort of seem to matter as I hit the blank page. But hopefully some sort of my like actual plan for like non-writing stuff will stick. I think it will be okay as long as I focus on planning like the process of doing the things, and if the destination changes somewhat along the way during the year, like that is okay, as long as we are like doing the process like that, that will be good. I just need to trust in the process and aim to appreciate the process for what it is, and focus on probably improving the process. I think that's my goal for 2023. To just like not focus so much on the endpoint. I know with 2022 I was like very focused on outcomes, and so when I didn't hit particular outcomes, like that was really disappointing. And I probably pushed too hard with the outcomes as well. Like back in one of these journals, I think it was this one, I had definite goals for 2022, which I kind of hit some of them, and a lot of them I did not hit as well. So yeah, this was my page from last year, which was like publish 4 books, possibly. And that clearly did not happen. I published 2 books last year, and it was hard. So I think I'm probably only going to manage to publish another 2 books this year. But I would like to try and get ahead of that cycle, because I feel like 2022 was a very wasted year in many ways for me as well, because it was just like a whole month where I tried to outline, and clearly it did not work for me. And so that was basically a month wasted. Yeah, an entire month wasted. And then I wasted more time on top of that, because then I spent 2 weeks afterwards trying to work on a flawed outline that was like overcomplicated and everything. And so I was just like, yeah, not gonna do that again for 2023. I think I'm just gonna try to, it sounds oxymoronic is the word. It's like I'm trying to plan less but also plan more at the same time, which sounds contradictory. But I think it's planning less on like very specific outcomes which have certain like very rigid success criteria, put it that way, and focusing more on the process. Like the more I think about this, like the better it is to just focus on the process, focus on getting a system in place. And then like if the system is well designed, and if I have a vague idea of where I'm heading with the system for like the purpose of the system, then like eventually I will get somewhere. And it's probably more important to focus on that consistency rather than anything else, because if I've learned anything from Brandon Sanderson is that consistency is key. And you know, Will White says this as well. So that is the plan. Elaine says, I didn't hit my publishing goals for 2022 either. I wanted to do 4 novels and a novella. I ended up with 2 novels and 2 novellas, but that's cool because 2023 is going to go off like a frog in a sock. Oh, I agree. I have never seen a frog in a sock, but yeah, I imagine they would actually go off. Roderick says, I did manage my goals, which was to get 2 books written, which I think is amazing. Like 2 books written, like 2 full novels. That's a lot of writing. I'm looking at my plan for 2023 right now, and it's a lot of raw writing. It probably isn't a lot of raw writing. Like I'm looking at probably 150,000 words ish. I think maybe it's going to be somewhere around 150 to 200,000 words, I reckon, because this rough draft over here, I've given up. I've given up trying to delude myself into thinking that I'm capable of writing books which are like 100,000 words or shorter, because clearly not. So this rough draft is probably gonna be 120,000 words. I know these revisions. I tend to add words during revisions, so, or not necessarily add words, but like I have to write new words for revisions. Usually, is what happens. So this is probably, you know, I don't know how bad it's gonna be because I haven't done a reread yet. That's probably the next thing I'm gonna be doing on these sprints, rereading this. But this, I think, I'm guessing might be somewhere around like, I don't know, 15,000 words, something like that. There's like, I feel like the draft is underwritten at the moment, so there's like a lot to fill in, but there's also a lot of words to pull out as well. So this book has not been very efficient in terms of like actual word count, which then means like of the overall manuscript goal of this, like I'm probably gonna have, I want to say like another 20,000 words of waste, hopefully. I think my prose graveyard for supplicant ended up at somewhere around 20,000 words. So 20,000 words of like random scraps that I can't use, probably likely. Hopefully I'm not going to have another situation where I need to throw out 20,000 words, because I will be so sad if that happens again. Jim says, my advice is to know your ending. It may change, but at least you have a target. See, the thing is, like, I never know the ending. Like, I know the ending changes, but like I can't write towards a specific end, because like the problem with writing towards a specific end is just it doesn't work for my brain, because always when I conceive of things at the conceptual level, it's like it doesn't, my brain can't process a lot of the stuff. Like a lot of the stuff which ends up making the core of the book, it's not present in bullet point form, if that makes any sort of sense. It's like if you look back at Petition, you could argue that I did actually know what the end was before I got there. But actually don't. Like, I think if you look at how readers describe what the book is and what the ending is, like when I started writing it, like had no idea it was going to go there. But like as a writer, like did I have some sort of structure to help me kind of make the book not a mess? Like I did. I think what worked with Petition was like, when I was writing, I had a much clearer idea of what plot archetype I was using, and that gave the book structure. Whereas writing Supplicant, I did not have a clear understanding of my plot archetype. Like what I thought was my plot archetype changed a few times during the book, and I have a suspicion it's going to change yet again when I actually reread it and just be like, oh, that is the actual plot archetype that I was reading. Roderick says, my advice is to find your own process because everyone works differently. Find what works for you, and maybe you should read the book Dear Writer, You Need to Quit. I only read the first chapter, but it digs into these kinds of ideas. You know what? I'm going to write that down because I do need to read more craft books. I'm very skeptical of them generally because I'm just like, look, I don't need another book which is telling me to just read more and write more, and like... because you guys have seen me, I'm so unstructured when it comes to like writing new prose. Like a lot of the structural stuff, I don't know. Like there is a guy in my writing group who always like he's very into plot structures and things like that, and he's always posting things about like, you know, these are the types of arcs and things like that. And I just like I try to read like those things, and it a lot of it bounces off me because I'm just like it's also abstract to me, and it's almost like a lot of these structural frameworks, I feel like it's easy to put them on a book after the fact, like when it's published, when it's actually been shaped into something coherent, or at least it has been attempted to shape it into something sort of coherent. You can kind of see the author's intentions, or the glimmers of the intention, right? So last year I read an indie book that I will not name. I actually really want to name it because I was hoping that I would really, really like it, but unfortunately I read it, and like the early part of the book was promising, and then it just kind of became very structurally incoherent. And then like about, I want to say like about 80% of the way through the book, I was like, oh, I see. This is what you were trying to do. And stepping back and looking at it then, like I could, in my opinion, put like a structure upon it that I would be like, okay, so like these are the parts that don't fit. And this is what I would have done differently if I was trying to tell this kind of story, which is the kind of story I think you're trying to tell, except like there are too many ideas in the mix. And so yeah, like it's just, for me, the writing process, at least, like I cannot start with a structure and then make things fit that structure. Like for me, I always feel like the structural bit, like the refinement or whatever, like that comes afterwards, after you figure out what you're trying to say with the book. And I don't know, like it could just, it doesn't have to be a deep and meaningful thing that you're trying to say with the book. But I think, do I believe that every single book should try to say something? Yeah, I think I do. Even if it's just like, you know, dragons are awesome or whatever. I think every single book should try to say something, because otherwise, like, why are you writing a book? Like, it has to be about something. Elaine says, I never know my endings either, but I usually do know the midpoint. Oh, that's really interesting, because I don't know my midpoints either. I usually, like, it's so bad. Like, for somebody who's so analytical, like the way I write is just, it's a complete chaos to me, because I'm just like, do I know what the midpoint is either? No, I keep writing, and then like eventually I get to a point where like enough stakes and tension has built up that I'm like, okay, this feels like the midpoint. And it's just, it's completely frustrating to have to write this way. But like, it is the kind of thing where I feel like I've read enough books that I have somehow internalized a lot of this stuff. So a lot of this stuff I'm not consciously thinking about it when I do it. It's just, I'm just like, this doesn't feel right. It's like, what is it? Have you guys ever read the book? I think it was Blink. Yeah, I think it was Blink by Malcolm Gladwell, and he talks about how like when you do something enough, like you kind of get this like sense of intuition that if you pause to think about it afterwards, like you can actually piece together the cognitive reasons for why you think so. But like in the moment of looking at something, you're just like, nah, it doesn't feel right. It's an instinctive gut intuition kind of reaction from just having like internalized your experiences, and you're basically drawing on all those experiences to form that intuition. And like the experience thing is really interesting for me, because it's like, how do I know that this is a midpoint? How do I know that this is an ending that's going to work or not? Like, it's not like I've spent that much time authoring things. Like, I haven't. Like, this is like my third novel. So, like, you know, what do I know as an author? But, like, the interesting thing about writing is I think that you're allowed to count your experiences as a reader as well. And so while I haven't written a lot, comparatively speaking, I have read a lot, and I know when something works in a book and when I don't, like according to my personal taste as a reader. And so I think that's how my brain does it. It's just I've read a lot of stuff which is very strongly structured, and I'm just like, okay, this works here, this does not work here. Roderick says, the book is not so much about specific craft as it is about author mindset and misconceptions that get thrown around about what you need to do as an author. That's awesome. And Roderick also says, I had a chat with an author who used the 3-act structure while plotting. You get 3 acts, each beginning with a twist, or a beginning, a twist, etc., which gives you like 15 chapters ready. And then he created those specific structure points and then filled in the blanks. Elaine says, I get that too about my books because Panther. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think there's obviously like a lot of different ways to write, and like, yeah, I think you just have to stop thinking about what should work for you and what actually does work for you. And apparently for me, it's just like planning is a waste of time. I should just not plan. Every single time I focus too much on plot, I know my writing suffers. I focus too much on plot or focus too much on setting, and then like things just kind of fall apart. But when I focus on character and I don't think about anything else, like the other pieces kind of fall into place, and you know, that's how I end up with, you know, thousands of XXX placeholders in my manuscript. But it's fine. There will be an XXX slaying period, which is gonna be this month for this draft. I'm not looking forward to it. I really dread it. But yeah, anyway, so we have been chatting for a while, so I think it is time for a very, very short break. We're gonna take 10 minutes to go grab coffees, go to the toilet, grab food, snacks, whatever we need, and then we are gonna come back in 10 minutes and we're gonna do some more work. I am gonna be trying to turn the vague one-pager that I had into something sort of coherent and workable on a daily basis, daily/weekly basis. Help me. I don't know if it's gonna work, but it's fine. I am better at following plans for processes than I am at following plans for writing, thank goodness. Anyway, I will see you guys in 10 minutes over on Sprint 2.